Hey everybody, welcome back to the Overwatch Project. This video is about the Acolyte cancellation and the meltdown some tiny fragment of the alleged fan base out there is having over the meltdown, but it's also back to YouTube with another phenomenal flurry of videos coming out about it. And in the end, this all has to do with one of two things. Either Disney has intentionally wanted to destroy Star Wars and created absolutely dreadful productions of this franchise, or there's a tremendous amount of cognitive dissonance taking place. And I've talked about it before. Humans are essentially, we have this problem with the cognitive functions that are operating in the background of because of our brain, the way it works. And the thing is, if you're not aware of these things, they kind of run kind of like a computer virus in your head, and they're running on autopilot in the background. And the worse controlled you are by these things, the more you can be in certain parts of your life be completely crazy. So the Acolyte has been canceled, and I've started a playlist because the Acolyte was kind of like the last straw for me. I'm also going to start a new channel dedicated to this kind of stuff, so this will probably be the last off-topic video that I make about this. I'm still struggling with what to call the channel, but it's going to be a lot about sci-fi, fiction, and my reviews and thoughts about the hidden messages and things going on in fiction. They say in fiction, if it's well done, then you can get a lot of truth out of fiction. But in this kind of stuff, like the Acolyte, it's just garbage. It's just outright garbage. The people freaking out or that were complaining about the criticism of this show from the beginning were saying that, it's okay if you criticize the show for legitimate things, but, they were simply, without any proof of anything, just blatantly calling people racist and bigots and saying that that's what they were criticizing, which is not true. That's why I started my playlist, which now has 694 videos and growing. A lot of the cancellation videos are popping up on here that I've been adding when they're really good. And all of the review videos that I found really well made are on here. There's hundreds of them. And the reviews were, again, going over each scene in each episode in great detail, what was objectively wrong with with the whole show, the whole problem it has trying to fit into the Star Wars universe, which it doesn't. Matter of fact, I'm going to just come out and say it now. Disney has screwed up Star Wars so bad that Disney is not Star Wars. Disney is some kind of fan fiction of Star Wars. It is not Star Wars. Everything Disney has done needs to basically be deleted and start over. Sure, you can save some parts here and there and have it redone in a better way, but essentially, for whatever reason, I think cognitive dissonance is the ruling reason. The ruling reason is that people are governed in their brain by things that they aren't even aware of. And if you're not aware of these things, they kind of run like a computer virus, and a lot of people have completely been overrun by things like cognitive dissonance because they make no sense. The people that made this show couldn't even make sense in the show. I mean, it used to be Hollywood was run by shady, corrupt, immoral people that could write stuff that could pretend to be moral, and then an audience could find good stuff in it. And to be honest with you, I even have problems with George Lucas's stuff, and I'll do that in another video where I explain how his take on morality and his understanding of the light and the dark forces just don't really make any sense. It's kind of like a childish look at morality. It's kind of wrong. And if he had just had a better philosophy, we would have got even better. But Star Wars itself was an amazing product that he made. I was there in 1977 in May or June when that movie came out, when I finally got to the theater to watch it the first time. Had to wait hours and hours and hours to get into the theater. It was standing room only. It was the 1970s. Nobody gave a crap about the occupancy number of fire regulations. I'm telling you, the theaters were packed. And unless you lived in the horrible decade of the 70s, you really have no idea what it was like to see something like Star Wars. Star Wars and the aesthetic of Star Wars, the whole science fiction world of Star Wars we ate it up. It was amazing. What George Lucas did give us was something truly amazing. It was an escape from the 70s, an escape from the world that was growing up in back then. It was absolutely fantastic. And then The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. It was the best science fiction of that era, and still to this day, if you watch those movies, it is fantastic. And Han Solo did shoot first. And the thing is with this Acolyte, it's made by people who don't understand Star Wars. It's horrible from the very beginning. But cognitive dissonance, I've mentioned this many times before on my channel here, and if you're new here because you tuned in because it was an Acolyte video, overwatchproject.com is my website. But cognitive dissonance is how people get this stuff made or in their minds. You mix cognitive dissonance with narcissism, and this is how this crap that we were watching on Disney Plus, which I did watch. I had to watch it, because I couldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe some of the reviews I was seeing unless I watched the show myself, because it was just unbelievable. The thing is that cognitive dissonance is used in manipulation, and if you even on Google's own AI overview, it correctly, which is amazing while this lasts, cognitive dissonance use in manipulation. If you look that up on Google or any other search engine, you will find information about how it's used in manipulation, and how basically people are geared to be manipulated by this phenomena of the human brain. And this is how we get trash and people believing in their own trash, and then becoming highly emotionally unstable when their trash is exposed as trash. And cognitive dissonance is a well-known phenomenon in cognitive and social psychology that can be used as a form of psychological manipulation. It is characterized by a feeling of discomfort that arises when someone has two contradictory thoughts or beliefs at the same time. You've seen these people freak out when they want to just blurt out that it's racism, it's this, it's that, and the other thing, it's no such thing. And then their brain actually will filter out these reviews that point out objectively what's wrong with this show and what's horribly wrong with this show. I even found this other meme here. It's not denial, it's just selective about the reality I accept. Or I'm just very selective about the reality I accept. Cognitive dissonance, feeling your truth. That's what these people are doing. Feeling their truth. They're not actually interested in truth, and you cannot convince them otherwise. I don't think these YouTubers care about what these SJWs think or how they react to their stuff. My Chihuahua doesn't care. He's complaining right now. He probably wants a treat or something. And this one video here that I have in my playlist, I'll link to this separately so you can watch it. How a Critical Drinker Destroyed Kathleen Kennedy. It's hilarious. The playlist itself is really entertaining. It's more entertaining than the show. As a matter of fact, you can learn all about every horrible scene in this series from this playlist by looking at the reviews, and each episode is in here broken down by several different YouTubers. It is something, though, that you can't win arguments with facts, with logic, with reason. Humans aren't designed to be won over that way. Once they have a belief system in place, and this stretches out across all things, across politics, religions, all this other stuff. And it's one of the things I started to realize when I started my channel, which is a channel that this is really off topic for, but also connected to, because you can't simply have people change the view of our reality because they have bought into a view that they believe in, and that view is like cemented in there and held in place by cognitive dissonance. In Sun Tzu's Art of War, it appears that Sun Tzu understood what it meant. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself and not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither your enemy or yourself, you will succumb in every battle. We are addressing the core truth, a thorn, cognitive dissonance, recognizing, understanding, and solving this internal state of mind that it takes us to happiness, but only if we are prepared for hard truths and a hard look at ourselves. I learned that the hard way when I was doing my research, and I realized that I was using it myself to try to justify belief systems I had bought into or was brainwashed or indoctrinated into believing. And once I dealt with the cognitive dissonance problem, I saw our entire reality in a completely different light. And I'm not telling you what to think. I'm just telling you this is a problem. And I think most people are in that middle ground where they might know themselves, but they don't know the opponent. And it's not about an enemy per se, because the art of war is about war. But you could transfer these into other psychological problems and dilemmas that people have interacting with each other. If you don't understand yourself or the other, actually most people are in that realm. They don't understand themselves and they don't understand other people. They don't understand their own cognitive dissonance, and they don't understand the cognitive dissonance operating in other people, and therefore everybody looks at everybody else like they're crazy. In fact, it's just something that has to be dealt with. So like I said, even the fact that I mentioned that I have also issues I've come up with about George Lucas's own premise in Star Wars, that doesn't mean I don't love what he gave us. I just think he gave us the best thing he could with his understanding, and there are some issues I have with George Lucas himself. He did pick Kathleen Kennedy, right? This is how people that think he's great or amazing, they kind of overlook these problems because of cognitive dissonance. He did sell it to Disney, and he didn't lock in any contractual restrictions on what Disney could do, and this is how we end up with the Acolyte, with this disaster. On the other hand, it's caused the Acolyte is so bad, it's transcended a level of badness that it becomes entertaining and humorous. So it's not just horrible, it's so horrible that it becomes like a comedy. And it has launched YouTubers into greater heights of popularity. It's gained subscribers for all kinds of YouTubers, pushed them over a great number on the internet. And, you know, that's all I really want to say about it right now. I'm going to link to my playlist, the F Disney Star Wars playlist. I'm kind of like with the Knights of Melvin on this one. Hashtag sell Star Wars. Hashtag avenge Star Wars. Disney Star Wars is not Star Wars. I don't know what it is. It's a dumpster fire, but it's not Star Wars. It is fan fiction disguised as Star Wars. And just because they claim to be in charge of it, they're actually not. They just happen to own the copyrights to things. They're not really in charge. The fans are in charge. The real fans. The majority of the fans. And the majority of the fans rejected the Acolyte. And the shills out there and the people who were just looking for this social agenda that they want to inject into everything, those people, they're not Star Wars fans. So, you know, if you like the show, good for you, but it's not for the Star Wars community. And, you know, Star Wars is very... I just want to say Star Wars is super huge in its, you know, they could have done Darth Zana. Why not do Darth Bane trilogy? If they wanted a strong female protagonist, it was already written. The Darth Bane trilogy with Darth Zana. Darth Revan, or the detail that the fans have. I would be surprised if a form of the Star Wars universe wasn't existing on the astral plane. There's all kinds of things on the astral plane, including like all these hollow heavens created by all these religious fanatics, and other places on the astral plane. Why not a astral version of the Star Wars galaxy or the Star Wars universe? It is possible. Fans have gone through, look at the detail of information in this universe that just George Lucas gave birth to it, and then the fans made it grow and expand. And if it wasn't for the real Star Wars fans, this universe wouldn't be what it is today. And they know what Star Wars is, and they know what Star Wars is not. The Acolyte was not Star Wars. It was trash. And it is not, it's canceled, and they removed the merchandise from their store, so I don't know what that means. Does it mean they're going to willow it? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But anyway, all right. I will talk to you all later. Check out overwatchproject.com if you're new here. Subscribe and like the video and comment if you want. Check out the playlist, F Disney Star Wars. Check out this hilarious but instructional video from Jesse Grant on how the critical drinker destroyed Kathleen Kennedy. And I will talk to you all later. I'll link to these other... I will link... Well, this you can look up yourself, and this I can link to that, I guess, and my website. It'll be linked below. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a good day, good night, or whenever you happen to be watching this. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.